Hello, we're back with some test results from our carbon suspension testing. Just briefly, if you remember, the goal is to get these very fine carbon particles to stay in suspension so that we can use them successfully in a flow capacitor as the liquid electrode. So if you watched the last video, you've seen my little setup here where I've got these 9 different test vials, each filled with a carbon material in a different liquid. Well, the base liquid is water in each case, and then a small amount of an additive used, a different one for the 9 different test vials, to see which of them, if any, improve the capability to suspend for the longest amount of time the carbon particles. Hopefully we'll find one here that at least for an overnight test is capable of keeping the particles in suspension. Let me just briefly, Lynn, take my little flashlight here and try to give you a picture of the test results. We'll start here with number 1. You can see that the carbon level is maybe a little more than half of the vial, the top part being the water where the carbon has settled out. Test 2 is almost 100% settled out. Test 3, there's a little bit of carbon left on the bottom, and I would say 80% settled out. Test 4 is just a little bit more settled out than vial 1, and as we go down the line here, there's no other truly significant results. 5 mostly settled out, 6 mostly settled out, 7 very little of the carbon left in suspension with the water, 8 the same way, 9 the same way. Test 1 through 6 were done about a day ago. 7, 8, and 9 were done about 7 hours ago, but they quickly settle out, so no use waiting for a full 24 hours on these to show any significant improvement. Now, going back here, the best so far in terms of holding a suspension is 1, with a close second being 4. Now, what did we use, what other things did we try? Each of the test vials had 20 milliliters of water, and then 3 grams of my active carbon black mixture. Vial 1, which was the best, had no additive, so very surprising there. Of all the 9 different things that I tried, the one with no additive at all held up the carbon particles the best. The only thing close to that was number 4, where it had the latex paint additive. I'll put this information up on a slide on the screen so you can take a look at it, but I'll just quickly summarize it here in the video. Things that did not work were number 2, glycerin, number 3, trisodium phosphate, number 5, dishwasher detergent, number 6, laundry detergent, number 7 was .3 brake fluid, number 8 was antifreeze, and number 9 was a Caro syrup. What's it called here? Corn syrup, light corn syrup. So a number of those, I guess you could say, provided a very good surfactant. In other words, the carbon particles were easily mixed into the water, but that's only half of the battle, right? You got to get the carbon and the electrolyte base to mix, and once you get it mixed, you want to keep the particles in suspension. the only things I've been able to read so far is that any of the additives should probably be pH neutral or close to it, and I think most of these that I've tried so far satisfy that, and that an ideal additive to hold a suspension will prevent the, I think it's called flocculation. In other words, the particles grouping together to more easily sink or not stay suspended. Groups of particles rather than small single particles of carbon will sink faster than if they're small. Part of the problem, I guess, is defining what small is. We've got to get down, I think, to less than 5 microns before we can consider suspension. I don't have a way of measuring that at all at the moment. This carbon, activated carbon and carbon black was ball milled to where I would say it's very close to what I would call normal baking flour. There's some of it that almost goes airborne just by spooning it out, but it's definitely not what I would call cornmeal or a coarse grind, that sort of thing. It's pretty fine stuff, kind of like baby powder, whatever. But I wish I had a way to measure it. I'm not sure what we're going to try next. I don't think I've got a good enough suspension here. And then there's the other large variable. Repeating all of this, or once I have something, or at least proving that it's really good in the electrolyte, not just pure water. The electrolyte I've been using so far is potassium hydroxide, and obviously that's a very strong base, nowhere near pH neutral, especially the 5 molar concentration. So we'll probably switch over to a more neutral pH electrolyte, something like a sodium phosphate or maybe a zinc phosphate. I think those are ionically neutral. Other than that, I hope there's someone out there that's subscribed or watching this that can have a few comments or suggestions. And with that, we'll, like I said, just put up a slide in the video of these results and let you know in the next video where I go from here. Thank you for watching.